Good evening and welcome once again to the Oaklander. I'm your host, Al DiGiacomo. It's been 24 months since OKTV produced our last Oaklander program here at the set at Cablevision Access Studio in November of 1999. The Oaklander was Oakland's first regularly scheduled access television show that spanned 5 years with a total of 60 one-hour episodes that highlighted many local issues and featured many familiar and even some famous faces from around the area. As we entered the year 2000, OKTV created for the borough of Oakland Our Town Online, a show that directed our viewers to the Oakland Town website, oakland-nj.org, so that residents could surf the net for useful information and events happening in our town. Although I am no longer affiliated with the Borough Committee, many people commented that OKTV has had a positive effect in generating a wide attraction for access television in our local area, and began to ask if there was a chance for a revival. After the World Trade Center attack, I began to give this idea serious consideration. With the web skills of staff member Don Flaster, we were able to create and maintain our new and improved website, www.oktv.org, in the early summer of 2001. After that, things really started to get rolling again. So with this present incarnation of crew members that are by far the most talented and creative individuals I've worked with since the Oaklander beginning, with songwriter Chris Breetveld and longtime director Greg Schuss, we are now about to embark into a new era, fully revitalized, with the enthusiasm to inform and entertain by making a difference through access television. We'll be back with our first guest, B. O'Rourke, in a moment, so don't go away. I'm so happy to have as our first guest on the revival of the Oaklander a dear friend of mine and a tireless advocate of those in need in our area. B. O'Rourke has managed the Northwest New Jersey Center for Food Action in Mahwah for the past 10 years. The center has been in operation for 25 years and helps over 1,000 families in our local area with direct food relief. And since the Oaklander began in 1995, I promised B a venue on our show until we fix the problem of hunger in our area. Although I love you, B, I wish I didn't have to see you again here with this message, but again, welcome here, my friend.
Oh, thank you. And congratulations on the new show.
Thank you very much, B. B, the year 2001, how many are affected by hunger in your center?
Well, we don't have good news for you, Al. Since I've seen you, we've about doubled our clientele, which simply means that 50% more people are being referred to us for assistance. This would be direct food relief, utility assistance, housing assistance, homelessness prevention, and no one wants to really believe this is happening in our own neighborhoods. It's right in our own backyard.
I can remember when it was, the economy was good, that people thought that the problem had gone away.
Right.
And now the economy seems to be sputtering and everybody is kind of in a state of anxiety with a feeling that I have never known in my life. You know, maybe some people
Right.
go back to the World War II era. How has the recent events actually taken their toll?
Well, they've done it in a couple of different ways. Of course, for the poor families, especially some of the ones that we're seeing, it's been very hard. Landlords, in some cases, have not been willing to take Red Cross vouchers for mortgage payments.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. I think they probably have their own problems financially, and they just want their money right away, and they figure it's not going to come. So we've been able to step in and do something about that once in a while. We can advocate at least and call them and say, you know, hold on for a few minutes, just give us a little time. We see some people who are coming in now who are survivors. They're so traumatized. They have no place to go. There's no place for them to show up to make a living anymore. They're coming to volunteer, and it's very hard on them. But there's a good side of their coming to us because, as one of the fellows said to me the other day, my God, I had no idea what it was like. This is silent hunger, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was so glad that he said that because, you and I have talked about that a lot. The business of people in our own communities needing help and being afraid to ask for it. If anything has happened since 9/11, it's that Americans once again are saying out loud, I'm going to help my neighbor, I'm going to be here for him whenever he needs me. And so that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping this Thanksgiving, this Christmas, this Hanukkah, that the neighbors, our neighbors in all of our towns, in Bergen and Passaic and Morris and wherever we are, will come forward, step forward and help the kids and the families who are in need. Not just the WTC folks,
Right.
but all of our folks. We had so many before this happened.
Yeah.
This is just going to make it a little bit more difficult.
Now, recently you've had the crop walks and the hunger walks in Ringwood.
Yeah.
How successful were these events in preparing for the winter ahead?
Well, we didn't get as much food as we had expected at the walks itself, and so that was disappointing. In terms of the people who did walk, the crowds were not what they usually are. And we think that people are tapped out. And we also know that everybody wants to help New York City. They want to help the heroes. They want to help the families who are suffering.
Do you think that's because there's the media has a constant attention, has been constantly focused on that for nearly a month and a half
Oh,
now?
yeah, I think so. I think so. And I think, it's a very romantic kind of thing, to put it sort of in an interesting way. Our folks who have been hungry all this time have been with us. They
Yeah.
are with us. We're taking care of them. But when this happened on 9/11, it was such a completely new thing for us. And people are only just beginning to say, all right, now I have to step back
Yeah.
and take a new look at what I'm going to be doing with my life and where am I going to be putting my money and my food and my energies and my time.
I think it's a wonderful thing, and even here we're using the camera lens to focus in on a problem here, and it's almost sad that we can't be guided by our own compassion in our own hearts, that we have to be guided by a camera lens. And again, I hope that anybody watching in this area will tell people who are not in this area the plight and what you do, Bea. I know that we get into the Thanksgiving and everybody opens their heart there. Explain us about the Adopt a Family here.
Sure.
The Adopt a Family project to gain that focus for Thanksgiving, and that our generous viewers at home will help the Center for Food Action.
Thank you. Well, what it is a very simple thing. We're asking families throughout the area if they would think about adopting another family for Thanksgiving. So all they have to do is give us a call, email us, fax us, and what we'll do is, that's the Northwest Center for Food Action in Mahwah and Ringwood.
And that number is?
201-934-5085. And we'll be very happy to fax everything they need. It would be the menu for the basket, where to bring it, and when.
And this is where a family puts together some of their favorite foods.
Yes.
And kind of shares
Right.
what's special to the person who's giving, to the person who's getting, and basically supplies almost a complete Thanksgiving meal.
Absolutely. And the thing that's so wonderful about this is that our families will take those meals, and thanks to Lincoln Technical Institute in Mahwah, where we have the whole facility this year, we'll be able to drive in. We'll have a drive-in and a drive-out Thanksgiving, which will be spectacular in terms of saving a lot of time, and we'll be having so many more volunteers be able to help us. But the issue is simply this. The families can then take this food, take it home, and cook it themselves. We're not in the business of making people dependent on us.
Right.
The Center for Food Action is not a handout, it's a hand up. People who are coming to us were referred to us because they needed this help. They just didn't show up at our door. And so we welcome them with open arms, with great affection, treat them, I hope, with the most dignity that we would treat anyone. And when the neighbors come forward and say, I'll support this work by helping someone maybe I've never met before. There's something that gives hope to the person who got that basket. And the kids light up like Christmas trees a month
I'm
early.
sure. Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
sure.
They see this truck full of frozen turkeys, and they look at these beautiful baskets people have prepared, and there's hundreds of volunteers in this wonderful room that Lincoln Tech gives us, which is a huge warehouse room. And it's just a very exciting time. It's the week before Thanksgiving, so it doesn't intrude into anyone else's holiday.
Yeah.
And we're there on the 17th and the 18th of November. UPS, I'm happy to tell you, has said that they were going to give us 300 baskets.
Oh, that's super.
Footstar has come forward with 50. Feed the Children's coming up to help us this year for the first time. So we're very excited about new things that are happening. We need 1,000 baskets, Al.
It's
overwhelming.
I'm quite confident that the people seeing your plea on this show will definitely come out and to support it. Now, other things that the center needs is financial help. I'm sure that
Yes.
all donations are gladly received, as the saying goes. Tell us about who is going to be doing a benefit on December 1st.
Oh, Tom Chapin.
Tom
Tom
Chapin.
Chapin is coming to New Jersey. His brother Harry Chapin was very instrumental in establishing something called World Hunger Year, and through World Hunger Year, the Center for Food Action began. And Tom is coming with some of the Chapin family, and there'll be a concert at Riverdale at the high school. It's our 25th anniversary as the Center for Food Action, and we could not be more honored than to have the Chapin family with us. Harry's always in our hearts. I even have my vinyl record, as you know, up at the center. The kids come in, they've never seen one before, so it's kind of interesting to show that. But that should be really fun, and that's a great way to celebrate.
Again,
So,
the date and the
December
times on that?
1st, 2 o'clock, Riverdale High School. Just give us a call at 201-934-5085, and we'll give you all the information.
And all proceeds benefit the
Center for Food Action, and we need them very badly. Our donations are down. Again, it's because of what's gone on, but we know that's going to pick up again. We can also accept supermarket gift certificates, and a lot of the stores in the area now are allowing people who are giving us very good size gifts. They're giving them a good break off the supermarket certificates. So please talk to your supermarket manager and find out how this can be worked out.
And basically, it's not quite that difficult. It's just a matter of picking up an extra item when you're shopping there,
Right.
and at the end of the month, you've got a bag there, because it's an ongoing thing. People are just not hungry at the holiday times. You know, they're hungry 3
Right.
times a day.
Well, we've been very lucky. The A&P has supported us. ShopRite has supported us. The ShopRite in Oakland especially has
They're
been
wonderful.
terrific. ShopRite in Ramsey, the A&P in Mahwah and Ramsey, and those, and all across the different counties. But it's just so amazing to see the network of people that are out there linked together to support these families whom they don't know, but they know that if they're referred to us, they're legit, they're in
Yeah.
need, their kids need us. There were 336,000 children in New Jersey, Al, who are going to bed at risk of hunger every night. This has got to stop.
It really is something. We think that that in this time that we'd have some way to deal with this problem. There's been a lot of funding and things like that. How has the government agencies such as FEMA affected the plight of the Center for Food Action in regards to the flow of funds?
The FEMA operation that we get, usually channeled through the United Way, has been helpful to us in helping people with utility and housing assistance. With the World Trade Center now, this will add an additional burden on all of us, and the monies will be different. It will be a different fund. So we really haven't got our teeth into this quite yet. We will know very soon how this will be working. it's going to take a little while for the people in our area who have a little bit more resources to have to wait for this FEMA money. So it's still up in the air about how this is going to work. My own feeling is I think it's going to. Part of what the Center for Food Action does is advocacy. If we have to pound an agency, we will.
Great. In the last couple minutes, B, also right after Thanksgiving, we get into Christmas and Hanukkah time.
Right.
What can people do, again, to express their compassion at this time for people in need?
Well, we're located at the Police and Fire Academy this year for Christmas and Hanukkah. And I'm happy to tell you tonight that every single Jewish family we have has been adopted. And so every night of Hanukkah, there will be, at these homes, gifts and food. So I'm so excited about that. It's great.
Well, that's wonderful.
But now we've got 400 families for Christmas we've got to get adopted. So it's the same kind of thing, only this year it's a little different. It's a smaller basket of food, and we're looking more at new toys, new clothing for teenagers. We want some sports equipment. We will take gently used things of people, you know, bikes in mint condition. We've got a wonderful woman in Midland Park who remakes them. There are people out there doing everything for us. And the police and the fire academy and the EMS people have been so remarkable and kind to us. So I just have a feeling that this is going to be okay. Our WTC people will need us for Christmas. So come on, folks.
That's great. B, thank you for coming here tonight and updating our viewers on the importance of giving locally for those in need of basic nutrition. And you know that you're always welcome here at B until we get this problem fixed. And thank you so much for coming down here. And stay tuned. We'll be right back after this public service message. Stay with us.
Thank you.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a fireman and rescue people and drive a great big fire truck.
As an architect, I'm going to design and build wonderful houses that everyone can afford to live in.
I love all kinds of pastries and breads, so I'm going to become a world-class baker.
I want to explore outer space with others as an astronaut, and maybe I'll even live in a space station.
I'll create such colorful clothes that everyone will want to wear them, and they'll be comfortable too.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Welcome back to the program. The attack on the World Trade Center has brought with it a sense of flag-waving patriotism across America not openly seen for quite some time. Yet organizations such as the Boy Scouts of America have provided the reasons and the guidance to introduce a valiant system to mold good citizenship to young boys for well over 75 years. Ken Mady is Finance Director for the Northern New Jersey Council of the Boy Scouts of America. Ken began a career with the Boy Scouts of America as District Executive in Jersey City, then to Morris County, serving several positions, including Special Projects Director, specializing in scouting for the handicapped. Ken has also worked in the Watchung Area Council and has many skills to speak of. Ken, thank you for being here to discuss some of these topics.
Al, it's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Ken, what are some of the civic values that are instilled in young scouts today?
Well, one of the things that we try to do is teach young people and really prepare them for, hopefully for a good future for themselves, all right? And scouting teaches really a positive sense of values, and it also teaches them a way in which they can contribute back to the American society, so that once they get older, they're able to pass that kind of thing back on to their generation of children. We try to teach kids how to be caring and compassionate, I'm going to say, because that is so important today. I think you'd agree.
Do you find that some of the former scouts come back with their sons and to be scout masters and merit badge counselors and things of the such?
Yes, many generations do come back. Many times we've had where the grandfather, the father, and now the son are all Eagle Scouts.
Really?
Yeah. It does happen. It does happen because, we try to make a nice show of that when it does. Many times the boys themselves, where they all have brothers, there might be 3 or 4 of them maybe making Eagle all at the same time also.
Wow,
So they are, you know, these rare occasions.
and that is quite an accomplishment. Is it still 21 merit badges?
That's right. That's right. You're
21
good.
merit badges.
You're good.
As you can
Yeah.
tell, I'm a former scout
Right.
myself.
Okay.
and well proud of it.
Okay.
Could you tell our viewers the benefits of your theme, Scouting a Lifetime of Values, and how important it is now to realize this theme?
Well, we give kids sort of tools to work with, okay? Like anything to prepare kids to be good citizens, we give them various educational materials that we have in Scouting that starts right up from Cub Scouting, moves right into Boy Scouting. Cub Scouting is family-oriented, where they learn how to make and work with their parents, you know, and learn how to do things and learn early on about citizenship and being able to do things that are above and beyond what they'd normally be calling for, okay? So they work with their parents, and then as they go out and prepare and get to be Boy Scouts, then they're able to work more independent. They're put in a situation called a patrol organization, and here they learn the patrol method, which teaches them independence, leadership, and again, things that are going to help prepare them for the future. It opens up a whole door of scouting.
Sure.
Scouting, the word outing is in scouting, so
That's
you know,
right.
yeah, and we're proud of just to piggyback on that too. We're also very proud of the camps that we have. We have several camps in northern New Jersey. We have Camp Alpine, Conklin Scout Reservation, Camp Glen Gray, Camp Lewis, Nobi Bosco, Rock Hill, Rollins Pond, Terrell, and Yawpaw. And we're all proud of those properties that we are able to put together a safe and fun place for kids and families to have scouting enjoyment.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember Camp Alpine and,
Okay.
and Nobi Bosco,
Right.
summer of 1969.
Okay.
Some of the merit badges have changed over the years.
Right.
Could you briefly tell us about some of the newer merit badges besides cooking and first aid and some of the real basic ones? I realize that I've seen some that there are some new
Yes.
subjects.
Right, right. Well, it's still 21 merit badges to become an Eagle Scout, all right? And I believe 10 of those are required and 11 of them are optional. All in all, there's about 130 some odd merit badges, Al. And those merit badges range from, you know, astronomy to zoology to computer science to life sciences, business management, personal management. We added a new one a couple years ago, truck transportation. We tried to get more into like some of the trades, you know, that kids might be interested in. Computers is obviously a new one. Communications is a fairly new one. We've gotten more now with the environment and badges that relate to taking care of environment and conservation and so on. So
To keep people's
and
interest.
educational, right? Exactly. Generally speaking, most kids that come up through scouting and go on to earn merit badges either go on to use that merit badge maybe in a career or even acquire a hobby because of it.
Yeah. I go back to a time where it was called the Muncie and then the Bergen district here.
Okay.
How has the membership grown over the years?
Well, last year the Northern New Jersey Council had a nice membership growth. We had nearly a 3% membership growth in our traditional membership, and we grew about 4% in our Learning for Life membership. What that basically says is that we put more kids in scout packs, Boy Scout troops, and venturing crews, and we were able to grow in something we call Learning for Life, which is our program in which we deliver this programs in the schools.
And this is basically the start of the new school year. Isn't this the time for the membership recruitment drives? And why don't you use this time to reach out and...
Right. It's a chance for families, okay, to now sign up their Cub Scout, to become involved with their son. All right. I just happen to have something here that I'm proud of. That I did with my son.
I know what that is.
All right, here we go. Here it fell apart. You could see it's a few years old, but it's still going strong. Pinewood Derby car.
That's right.
All right. This happened to be a winner. Okay. And
Congratulations.
you know, one thing nice about scouting, Al, is that everybody's a winner in scouting, you know, and the motto is do your best, all right? So when an 8, 7, 8, 9-year-old makes a car like this, they're awful proud of it, right?
Sure.
And they root and they cheer their car on, you know, and you might remember that.
I sure do.
But this is certainly energy for the boy and the father or significant other, whatever adult is important in that boy's life that helps him make this car, you know? So a lot of fun, a lot of activity.
So for some of the people watching at home tonight, if they wanted to become involved, what's your phone number so people can call you up and
Right.
get more information?
We have really 3 locations, okay, in the northern New Jersey to sign up. Our Oakland office is 201-677-1000, and they can ask for just identify the town in which they live in, and they'll be routed to the individual that handles that territory. We also have an office in Verona at 973-857-0007, and the same thing, if it's a parent can call up and inquire and just ask the town in which they live in, and they'll be routed.
That's wonderful, and I'm sure it'll be time well spent. In our pre-interview, you mentioned the subject of Cub Scout Day Camp. What's included in this program, Ken?
Lots of fun. Fun.
How did I know that?
A boy has a chance to come up for, roughly, they could come up for a 2-week period or a 1-week period. It's a day camp, so they're there from about 9 to 4, all right? And they do things that are related to the outdoors. Our camp that we provide the day camp is Yawpaw, okay? And that's right here in Mahwah. And that camp gives kids an opportunity to go swimming, learn archery, BB gun safety, some nature. We teach them, we have a session that we do some skits and songs, all right, so that we prepare them for the campfire that they do on Thursday night. Their parents and the boys come back and do a closing campfire for that week. Lots of fun. They're able to earn advancement, and they earn themselves a shirt and a patch for the week. And it really is good therapy, even for the parents that send them kids, because they have a chance to come and visit their son at the day camp and see the fun that they've had.
Gee, Ken, you're bringing back a lot of great memories to me here tonight.
It's okay.
The Explorer is still an active program for Boy Scouts
It is.
that get a little older?
It's part of our umbrella program called Learning for Life, okay? Exploring is our teenage division, if you will. It starts at 14 and goes through like junior college, age 21. And it's really focused on kids, programs that kids generate themselves. It might be a specialty interest that they might have. It might be something related to a specific career, such as maybe firemanship or police work or lawyer, okay? Or they can just organize themselves around a general interest post, around something, you know, outdoorish or whatever they'd like to do. But the important thing is that they become the leaders of that group, and they dictate more or less to the advisor of that group, who is the adult assigned to work with them, that they're able to, like I said, generate a program and develop the leadership within themselves. So.
With all the other recreational clubs and organizations to choose from, how does Scouting fare in attracting the new recruits? I know they're vying with recreation and other things.
Sure. We don't want to compete with recreation. Scouting is a program, all right, and it's tried to be well-rounded. I know that when I grew up in the town that I lived in central New Jersey, that scouting, you either did scouting or sports, okay? And I was a little bit awkward throwing the baseball, running around the bases and stuff, and I had, sort of had to find my way a little bit, and I found that scouting was something that I enjoyed, okay? I knew that I liked the outdoors. My parents didn't do camping, so it was certainly an outlet for me to become involved in the outdoors with scouting. And like I said, when a boy wants to be on a sports team, football, baseball, whatever, we encourage that. We want them to do that, but we also want them to be scouts. And I think that the scout leaders become sympathetic and appreciative of the fact that the boys want to strive and become team players and this and that. So we encourage our scout leaders to work with the boys that want to stay on sports teams and let them be in scouting at the same time.
Again, I mentioned in our opening that there's an outpouring of patriotism, of really connecting back to the ethic of the American spirit, which is working together, coming together in a crisis. Let's face it, Ken. America is in a crisis
Right now,
never seen before in our country. Do you think that this is going to help the recruitment drive, that people are going to really want? I know I would much rather be surrounded in a crowd of Boy Scouts in a time of crisis than I would, I don't know, I don't want to disparage anyone, but I feel very safe around a bunch of kids who know the real meaning of cooperation and bravery and courage. Do you think that the recent events is going to uplift and have more people, more boys joining the Scouts?
I think that Scouting is an American way, Al. It's been around for over 90 years, actually. And the tragedies that's happened today, I think, are going to instill in parents a need of security and a safe environment for them.
Yeah.
And I've got to agree. I think what we're all trying to profess these days is to try to go back and look back to maybe how life was and to look back at some of the traditional things that we did. And if you look in our Scout handbook, that all those traditional kinds of things are back in there, all right?
Be prepared.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So I think that you know, the events that we're involved with now are going to make parents feel that, you know, they want to get their boy involved in Scouting, and let them know too that they're, you know, part of the program and they're safe, you know.
In our remaining moments here, Ken, please reprise the local number that people can contact the Northwest Council.
Yeah, the Northern New Jersey Council is, we're located at Ramapo Valley Road, number 25 Ramapo Valley Road here in Oakland, and the phone number is 201-677-1000, and we encourage parents to call up, all right? Boys get a flyer in the school to sign up now, and it becomes an invitation for them to join.
That's great.
Whereby we miss anybody, you know, feel free to call our number. So,
well, Ken Mabey is Finance Director of the Northern New Jersey Council of the Boy Scouts of America, recently based here in Oakland. Ken, thank you for being our guest, and to the Boy Scouts of America for teaching the ethic to be prepared, a motto for serious thought to us all in America. And we'll return after this public service message. Please stay with us.
thank you.
Every evening, before I go to sleep, I look outside my window at the moon above the trees. And I think that somewhere else, someone else, is looking out a different window at the same moon. I imagine that this person is imagining me.
Welcome back to the final segment. With us now are 4 distinguished veterans from each of the armed services. Tonight we'll be discussing the American Legion Post 369 of Oakland's membership drive, along with some of the organizational issues and efforts that benefit our communities. First, we have Bill Murphy. Bill is current commander of American Legion Post 369. In 1954, at age 17, he entered the U.S. Air Force, where he was trained in the communications and cryptography. Although the Korean conflict ended before he could be assigned overseas duty, Bill attained the rank of Airman First Class and remained in the inactive reserve until 1962. Next is Mario Lembo, a former American Legion commander serving in the Navy from 1968 to 1962 as plane captain on A-4 Skyhawks, maintained various aviation electronic systems on F-4 Phantoms, A-1 Sky Raiders, F-8 Crusaders, and helicopters. He was awarded the Navy Good Conduct Medal and the Meritorious Unit Commendation and the National Defense Medal. Mario served 8 years in the Naval Reserve, being honorably discharged in 1980. Ron Beatty, a U.S. Army veteran, served as a military policeman in the Aberdeen Proving Grounds in Maryland. And I think Ron has been gracious enough to fill in as a last-minute guest for Ben Cassio. Finally, we have World War II Army veteran James Sonny Franks. Sonny landed on Utah Beach on D-Day, June 6, 1944, at 6:30 a.m. with the 4th Infantry Division. The 4th Infantry Division was the first into Paris, the first through the Siegfried Line, and also fighting the Battle of the Bulge. Sonny has earned the Bronze Star and 5 Battle Stars before leaving the Army in 1946. Sonny is also a former American Legion commander and was honored as the Grand Marshal of the 1999 Memorial Day Parade here in Oakland. Ron, let's begin with a little bit of history of the American Legion. Who proposed the idea and when?
Well, right at the end of World War I, there was a group of 20 veterans who had served in France. And they got together and with a little planning and formed the Legion with the purpose to improve troop morale. But the concept soon evolved into a much larger veterans organization dedicated to maintaining America's ideals, such as keeping America strong, showing a sense of obligation to the community. The American Legion was from the very beginning thought to be an action organization. So in March 1919, about 1,000 officers and enlisted men attended the first meeting in Paris. It considered each soldier of the American Expeditionary Forces a member of the Legion. A committee was appointed to organize the veterans at home in the United States, and a second meeting was held in St. Louis, Missouri in May of 1919. Here the Legion Constitution was completed and plans confirmed for a permanent nationwide organization, which the U.S. Congress granted the Legion in September 1919. They granted them a national charter. The Legion began its veterans relief programs, employment, Americanism programs. The Legion evolved and became a patriotic, mutual help and community service organization. Today, the American Legion numbers some 3 million men and women and 15,000 Legion posts across the United States and several countries abroad.
Oh, that's something, Ron. I'd like to move on to Mario here. Mario, the American Legion slogan is "Still Serving America." What are a few of the foremost projects being undertaken at this moment?
Well, the American Legion is not only the largest veterans organization in the world with 3 million veterans, it's the most active. Its agenda includes not only veterans care and benefits, but also dedicated to improving America through volunteering, sponsorships, and money donations. For example, the American Legion donates more blood than any organization in the United States. It contributes close to $30 million for children and youth programs, which include a sponsorship in partnership with the Children's Miracle Network, which raises funds and awareness for children's hospitals. It also sponsors what's known as the Spinoza Bear Project, which has helped close to 21,000 children. And this is a little cuddly bear that has an audio cassette in it, and it is given to children with cancer or mentally retarded children to help them along with their illness. $10 million is also given to charitable organizations every year, including the United Way and the Red Cross. Close to $4 million is given to college scholarships to high school students. And close to $2 million every year is raised and given to veterans for emergency aid. The Bergen County American Legion is probably the only organization in the United States which collects money dues from its members and provides emergency relief to veterans up to $3,000, a one-time payment to help them if they get into a crisis in paying bills. And it's paid directly to the utilities, and so these are worthwhile programs that the American Legion continues to provide its veterans today.
Absolutely. I'd like to turn it over to the commander of the post, Bill Murphy. Bill, as the commander of Post 369, could you tell us about the current membership drive and why it's especially important in these turbulent times?
Well, in addition to our daily service obligation, all Legionnaires are encouraged to solicit new members. Nationally, we lose 1,000 veterans a day.
Really?
Deceased. It's near 500,000 a year.
Wow.
The lines are thinning out, and we're having trouble recruiting, especially younger members.
Do you think with the recent events here that people who have served are going to kind of want to be involved?
We would hope so. We put up posters throughout the 4 towns here: Oakland, Franklin Lakes, Marwar, and Wyckoff. They have information about what year you're eligible and where to call. And,
Who is eligible?
Any honorably discharged veteran from either the 5 branches of the service: the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. They're eligible. I got the dates here if they want them, or you got time to read them?
Well, we're going to be very short on time here. I'd like to cover some of the benefits that someone joining the organization, what they would actually benefit as being
well, as a veteran, and we get all the benefits Congress gave us. They're entitled to life insurance, prescriptions, health coverage, charge cards through the Legion, annuities and discounts for hotels, rentals, and for moving companies.
I think one of the big benefits was to be around people with like-minded and actually to kind of trade off stories, because you've all been through the basic training. I think that'd be a great benefit to share with one another. I would. What do you feel about that, Bill?
We would hope we would get some calls after the show, especially people from like the ones that served in the Persian Gulf. I think we have one member, one young guy, and then Sumatra, Haiti, Grenada, Panama, and Lebanon. They're all eligible to join.
That's
and
great.
Those in current service now, they're eligible to join.
Great. I'd like to turn this over to Sonny, our decorated veteran here tonight. Sonny, the American Legion addresses several critical issues important to veterans. What have become the top priorities?
Well, one of the priorities, Al, is which is crucial to all Americans, and especially veterans, is the health care that we have. We call it the GI Bill of Rights. This here protects a lot of health issues with the members of the American Legion, but it's a program that is out there for all veterans. And if any veteran that hasn't got health care, the Legion could supply a plan for you to get health care. You buy it, and it even covers preventative care at times. And then there's a project at the American flag. There's a bill in Congress now which wants put into law about desecrating the flag. A lot of it happens in this country, a lot of it happens overseas. And the flag is old glory to us. It represents freedom. It represents citizens, national symbol. And I hope that Congress would pass that bill about the desecrating the flag. Then we have another issue, which is about veterans. When veterans come out of the service, they have skills, and it's tough for them to go into the private sector of labor. So what we propose is that when a veteran is discharged, he either receive a license for his skills from the Army or a certificate telling him that he is qualified for a lot of jobs out in the labor field.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our three main projects that
That's
we're
great.
going for.
I'll turn this back to Ron Beatty here. Ron, could you tell us about the Legion's Americanism program?
Now, the American Legion strives to further a strong sense of patriotism and loyalty in the community at all levels of education. Especially, I think, during this time of crisis, it's very important. We call it Americanism, but for example, the American Legion baseball program, each year, about 90,000 boys experience the benefits of good sportsmanship and team play through their sponsorship by the American Legion. Boys State is another project we're proud of. American Legion posts select outstanding high school students to attend a program where they experience firsthand how their state government functions. High school oratorical competitions are scheduled where students vie for college scholarships by demonstrating their knowledge of our Constitution. Another huge project is scouting sponsorship. We sponsor 2,500 Cub Scout and Boy Scout troops each year. Other Americanism programs include flag education, such as what Sonny spoke about before, scholarship information for obtaining financial aid, school awards for outstanding leadership, junior shooting, sports rifle competition, and safety instruction, and support for patriotic holiday observances to include sponsoring of marching bands and drill teams.
It sounds like you guys have got a lot of things covered
We're
here.
very busy.
Our time is so limited here. I'm going to try to get through as many things as we can here. This question is for Bill. What does the American Legion do to help protect the children and the youth of today?
The Children and Youth Program of the American Legion has three main objectives. First is to strengthen the family unit. The second is to maintain well-rounded youth programs and to support other organizations which serve children and youth. We have three primary programs, the first of which is the McGruff Safe Kids program, which is nationwide child identification safety program. The second one is our Child Health Program, which is in conjunction with the Children's Miracle Network. Affiliated hospitals provide quality care to all children regardless of condition or ability to pay. Our third program is teenage suicide prevention. The Legion supports programs of prevention and awareness to avoid teen suicides. The Legion's very proud of these programs.
I'm sure.
And then, in addition, temporary financial assistance is available to needy children of eligible veterans. The Legion also sponsors a child welfare foundation.
Okay, we're going to really kind of go through this. Our time is so limited. Sonny, what is the National Emergency Fund?
Well, we have a National Disaster Fund for all American Legion members, all auxiliary members, and all Sons of the Legion members. And if you have to come from the United States, and if there's a disaster that happens personally to you, we're there to help financially or whatever it may be to get back on the feet. And
I'd like to get through here. Mario, there are many topics here to cover in so little time. What do you think are some local veterans and how they may be able to produce their own show? I think there's a lot of interest. And what could you say to them?
Well, I think this is our first attempt to reinterest the veterans out there in Veterans Affairs. I'd like to let the veterans know that there are 387 posts throughout New Jersey. There's 53 posts just in Bergen County alone. Currently, the membership that we have is about 76,000 members in New Jersey out of a potential pool of 26 million veterans in the United States. So we would like to continue these programs to give exposure to veterans in that we can help veterans as well as the community. We're also trying to reactivate veterans' photographs in the newspapers, have families bring photos to the newspaper so that the community can know who's on active duty at any particular time. And so, of course,
great.
the objective is to increase the Legion's programs and to help veterans. So that's our objective.
That sounds great. Time is our enemy, guys. And gentlemen, I want to thank you for being our distinguished guests here tonight and for still carrying the torch for our nation. I commend you on your caring and your courage, and especially to the brave veterans who paid the ultimate sacrifice. My thanks to the American Legion member, Jack Ackerman, for his time and effort, and the guest producer for this segment. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed the revival of the Oaklander. We invite you to tune in again and as we highlight the talent in our area. I'd like to thank the Loran Associates for our new Oaklander sign here. It's very much appreciated here, and we'd like to express our sincere thanks to that. Now, in the wake of the 9/11 attack, as we look deeper to understand the true meaning of our lives beyond our material and capitalistic foundation, yes, it's true that our lives have been forever changed by these recent events, yet the resolve of people appearing here tonight, along with the countless others like them across the land, carry the candle of courage, bravery, and the compassion that embodies our love and the freedoms we enjoy. So maybe this Thanksgiving we could look into ourselves to be strong yet kind, to be more open and less blind to the simple things in life. Let's try to provide a sense of security by watching out for one another. My sincere thanks to our guests this evening for sharing their talents and insights, to the talent and commitment of the OKTV staff, to Sharon Jacod, who arranged to have Frosty Lawson's America, the Light of the World, as our featured music for tonight. And most of all, to you, our viewers at home, for watching the Oaklander. I'm Al DiGiacomo, and we'll see you next time.
The winds of change have come around in every city, every town. A little piece of innocence is gone. But what we got in return is a flame that always burns, a light of freedom. Together we are one. Don't let the flame die out. That's what America is all about. And when that flag waves high, we'll look up to the sky and thank our lucky stars that we are who we are. America, the light of the world. We've never known any fear, but what is happening right here is the ultimate test of our resolve. We survived a civil war. We've lost our sons on foreign shores to save democracy. That's why we get involved. Don't let the flame die out. That's what America is all about. And when that flag waves high, we'll look up to the sky and thank our lucky stars that we are who we are. America, the light of the world. And when we find our backs against the wall, we'll stand and fight for each other, the hero in us all. Don't